there, and welcome to another Incredible Hulk podcast. This is Graham, standing in once again for our On the Sidelines host, our buddy Frank. Joining me this evening, it's Sue and Alex. How are we doing, guys?
Good.
All right.
Good to see you guys. And tonight we are tackling the episode entitled The Haunted. This was part of Season 2, Episode 26 of the series overall. A very spooky Edgar Allan Poe-esque outing for a CBS show back in the day.
Yeah.
Indeed it was, yes. Even some would say even we formed in concepts of The Ring with the scary girl chick, except there was no girl coming to the TV. But I digress.
That was a different thing.
That was a different thing altogether. Yes, your cast for this one, you had your series regulars of Bill Bixby as David Banner. You had Lou Ferrigno, of course, as the Incredible Hulk. Your guest cast of Carol Baxter as Renee Stevens, and spoiler alert, Becky Stevens. We'll get to that. Yeah, we'll get to that. You had John O'Connell as Bernard Stevens, her freakishly goofy-looking cousin, who you think has an ulterior motive to begin with, but turns out to be no bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to that also. We also have Johnny Hunter as Fred Lovett, the sleazy real estate agent. We have Reed Kinger as Renee as a child. Yes, Renee, not Becky, as you're about to find out in this tale.
Yep.
You have John Lormer as Dr. Rollins.
Yeah.
The town's age-old doctor who holds a secret. Some may even call it a murmur. Well, we'll get to that in a minute also. So, guys, The Haunted. David offers to help, who we are introduced to as Renee Baxter, move her lodgings from her current establishment back to her hometown and her old family home, where a sinister secret dwells beneath. It turns out she has a bit of a sad backstory, tragic backstory as the case may be, where her twin sister sadly perished in the old mill within the town. Water, wheels, and family backstories galore.
Yeah.
Opening thoughts on this one, guys? The Haunted, what do you reckon?
Well, it was kind of fun to have a story of twins. That was really interesting, and the old mill and her old homestead where she lived as a kid was pretty eerie, pretty spooky, and so that was fun. The Hulk outs were really inspired by danger and not by violence, so that was cool.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. It's a real psychological trip, this episode, because it's probably the scariest thing, Incredible Hulk-wise, you've got to a horror genre type movie. So, interesting stuff. Alex, opening thought for you on this one?
Well, I kind of disagree. I appreciate that they were trying to do something, more psychological, like Hitchcock or Edgar Allan Poe. The execution wasn't too good. The Hulk wasn't really needed in the story at all.
Well, I could see why you would say if you took Lou Ferrigno out the story, nothing would have changed, other than the fact that somebody might have drowned at the end in the mill.
Right.
But the show's called The Incredible Hulk. He's contracted to appear twice per episode, so it's going to happen.
Right. But the other issue too is the fact that except for the twin sisters sort of talking, there really wasn't anything really that different. And of course, they had no budget because back then every show almost had to do 40 episodes or more. It's not like now where you're lucky if you even get 15. So there was scary things in it. There was, but like I said, the other ones, is it scary because it looks scary, or is it scary because there's a threat? And the talking to herself, pretending to be two women or two girls, is scary. The rest of it, it wasn't exactly scary either.
Like you say, there's different types of scary. This was more psychological and in the mind, as opposed to jump scares or things like that.
Yeah.
Well, but you know what? I enjoyed it. I thought it was all right for 44 minutes. I thought Carol Baxter done a great job portraying two different variations of the twins, considering one of them had to be, a young kid at 10 years old.
Yeah, no,
So,
I think it was also, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it was the dialogue or the direction or the pacing or the editing. I think it was more the dialogue and the pacing rather than anything else. I think if it had been a little tighter, a little quicker, a little bit, the pacing a little scarier.
yeah.
But of course, as we just said, there's many, they're scary because you don't know what's there. They're scary because it's frightening looking. They're scary because there's a threat. Here,
it's definitely scary because it's scary looking.
Well, no, here you didn't know, I think that was the saving grace in a way, is that you really didn't know what was what. So it was more, again, they were trying to have sort of the unknown, and the unknown can be scary.
There you go.
But I think I still think the pacing was a little off, though.
You're right there. It's the fear of the unknown. And you've got a portion of this episode where they pull the rug from under you because Renee is actually Becky.
Yeah.
You keep
that
thinking,
was surprising.
Yeah. You keep thinking that, okay, yeah, because you even get the retail, the real estate guy. Oh, we used to call them sunshine and rain. Becky was, Renee was always happy-go-lucky, and, Becky was hard as nails and always covered in mud and all the rest of it. And the revelation that the sister that actually died was, excuse the pun, the good one.
Yeah.
That's different. And it's a real psychological head trip for who turns out to be Becky, because she's trying to fit in as Renee just so she can be treated differently by the townsfolk. Interesting plan.
It was interesting. And their cousin or whatever, that was
their cousin. What was his name again? Yeah, we freak us out with the glasses.
Let me see.
Bernard.
Oh wait. Bernard, yes, Bernard. You're right. You're correct.
Bernard. Yeah, when he first showed up, you think, oh, hang on, he's a sinister-looking fella. Is he up to something? Does he want this house for nefarious purposes? Does he want to sell it to the mysterious land developer? No. It just turns out that he liked Becky more than he liked Renee. What an absolute bastard. Yeah, but there you go. But let's go through this in some type of sequence. Now we've talked about it, shall we? So David helps her move. You then have the initial encounter whereby they're moving things in. She goes down to the basement and she ends up being scratched by what she perceives as a little girl. And of course, she starts hyperventilating. David, listens to her heartbeat, checks her pulse, and this point proves integral in the story later on the only major difference is between the twins, and that's the heart murmur.
That's correct, and he's. He's trained as a medic, a doctor. So of course he's up to speed as to helping her.
Yep. The only one difference, but you can tell between these identical twins, is this irregular heartbeat, and this is what identifies it later on. Of course, you do think that Renee at the time is actually seeing this little girl, and it's not until later on that you realise, hang on, this shit's all in her head. And the girl's not
she's
actually
talking
there.
To herself, right?
Exactly, yeah. Schizophrenia at its finest. But what I did find interesting was you had the real estate guy in the background. You had the so-called housing developer who he owed money to. Never played a part in this at all. They just went on their merry way. I thought they would have played some part, but that didn't pan out that way. You had Jack McGee in the freaking credits, and he wasn't even in the bloody episode.
No,
what the hell, man?
Not even a small.
No, not even his standard 2-minute cameo at the end.
Yeah.
You saw this big green bugger. Help me out here. I hope at the very least to get paid for that. Because that's just, yeah.
And there was all of the dangerous scenes took place in a water wheel, as you had said earlier.
In the mill, yes.
In a water wheel mill, with a deep pool that the water will drain or drew from, and that was pretty cool. It was like an old school grinder and an old school, and there was, she was telling how incredible the currents were underneath it, and so.
Although I must confess, there was one thing I did find puzzling in this whole episode, okay? And it's when David and Renee at the time first go to the mill. She explains that Becky died underneath the wheel and whatnot. And then they return back to the house, and you've got the lipstick and the graffiti all over the place.
Yeah, on the mirror?
Yeah. Now, if Becky was Renee and vice versa, who wrote that?
And why wouldn't they remember if they wrote it themselves? It's just psychological.
Who wrote that? Now, at first you're sitting there thinking, "Oh, look, that's Big Bernard trying to scare her out of the house because he wants the house to himself." But when it's revealed that he's fine, and you go back and think about that, and she was with David at the time, who graffitied the house?
Well, maybe she did it before she left.
No, because if you recall, Bernard showed up at the door rather freakily and scared the shit out of her and said, "Have you went to the mill yet?" Yeah. No. And then they left.
Yeah. Oh, well, maybe it was Bernard then.
So there was a huge plot hole.
There's a plot hole for you folks, yeah.
Unless they did it on purpose. I mean, this is the other thing. I mean, it was an interesting attempt. It just didn't seem to quite work. It was very, very close, though.
No, but that's the only thing I noticed. I'm going, if she's hurt and if she's the two twins, who graffitied the mirror? I'm like, what? Now, either I got an episode whereby there was a minute or two missing, or somebody's buggered up an editing there.
So that's the other question too, is that it probably would have been scarier if it had been 2 episodes, but the problem is, is it worth it? And this is the old days where, the networks do, 20 to 40 episodes a year. So
well, to be fair, this was season 2, which only had about 20 episodes, if I remember right. So
yeah, but now, unfortunately, you're lucky if you get 15. So
I think the reason this wasn't a 2-parter, if I remember the order right, I think the next episode was Mystery Man, which was a 2-parter. Yeah. So that's probably why. But no, this is an interesting one for me. I mean, I get where Alice is coming from in terms of there is issues with it, but. I mean, we just discussed the mirror thing. The sleazy retail developer never becomes a part of it, even though the guy selling the houses owes him money. You'd think they'd play a part somehow. Never mentioned after that at all.
The guy Fred Levitt,
yeah, Fred Levitt just walks away and apparently still owes money, and he's probably lying dead in a ditch somewhere alongside Jimmy Hoffa. But there we go. The only other thing I really need to point out that I found really, really amusing was the second Hulk out, whereby he comes up through the water and he's drenched, and you're like, it just looks like a big plush toy. You're like, what the hell am I watching? Yeah. And of course, he had the first Hulk out where he's growling to the stuffed bear and growling to the other thing. George, the big mounted stuffed bear, and then you had.
Well, the other.
Well, he pushed the bear.
Yeah. No, what was the thing he destroyed with its fangs showing? He was growling at it.
Oh, I don't know.
Was it a Wolverine or something?
Some type of wolf. Yeah.
So that's the other question too that a lot of people criticize about the Hulk is, if it's supposed to be 2 different people, then how does the Hulk remember what Bill Bixby remembers? In some episodes, it's very, very close. So you kind of wonder, if it's 2 bodies but the same mind. But the problem is, the Hulk usually doesn't talk. So
usually, yeah.
Anyway, I mean, again, it was a very good attempt in most cases. It was a very smart show. in many cases. So
Yep. No, here's the thing, guys. I mean, we're doing this in somewhat of a different order. We're just taking key points for the thing and talking about it for something different. Yeah.
So about the first Hulk out,
Yes, go on. Yes.
He in that earlier episode, he fought the bear. He fought a live bear, and this one
that's why he probably recognises the bear and sitting there going, "Why the hell is that thing not moving?"
And he kind of pushed it, and it rocked back and forth. And
although, to be fair, I'm glad he didn't destroy it because it obviously had some sentimental value to Renee/Becky, with her grandfather and whatnot. So there you go. Yeah, he just rocked the bear. Yeah, as I say, I enjoyed it. I just found so many of those threads. You know, we've talked about it: the graffiti, the real estate guy, the land developer who was trying to bulldoze the town.
Yep.
You get some type of resolution with Bernard because you think he's in on it and he's something sleazy about him. But as I alluded to, he just had more.
Becky.
Yeah, he just had more in common with Becky than Renee, really, and yeah, he preferred the rain to the sunshine.
And when supposedly Becky died, then that was really hard on him.
I'll tell you what's kind of interesting though was the symbolism of this doll, which led to the death of the twin that died, which turned out to be Renee as we get to the end of the episode. But I don't know, there was something creepy about that doll. I mean, I know this is pre-Annabelle and stuff like that, but I don't know. It looked like a really sinister doll to me.
No, I mean, like I said, the show is great. The show has worn really well. It's very intelligent. It doesn't insult the audience. However, the other issue is you have a lot of episodes that they probably could have, they probably should have either spent more money on or had less episodes, but done them better. Again, you have to remember that this was around 8 or 9 o'clock at night when they were showing this with commercials.
Yep.
And had a big cast considering in a way.
That's quite a small cast, to be fair, this one.
But I mean, and it wasn't badly done, but there were some episodes that you could see, that was kind of done on the cheap or that was kind of done wrong. But again, it was the 70s. So that's the other thing is that there was a lot of times that it was preempted. As other Canada and England and all that made fun of that, is that was preempted, and you could see that the actors were two different actors and stuff like that. But again, the show did rock. It is better intellectually and dialogue wise than the movies. But
especially the Ang Lee version.
Yeah, it's too bad that they couldn't have spent, almost $1 million on one really good story, and really, had it as a super treat.
Well,
and like I said, it's TV, it's a small audience, it's CBS. They're not going to allow some things, other things they're going to allow. If it had been on another network.
FCC. Yeah.
Right. So it's different, you know what I mean? Some things were really good, like the intelligence and the dialogue and the stories. Other things like the execution and the special effects weren't necessarily as good, but thankfully they did get better as well. And you had a lot of great character actors, and you had a lot of great, music, and the transformation isn't bad. I mean, Amazon is still supporting the show, so they must like it a little bit. Because it's an old show now,
Yeah. Britain's old after about 5 years these days. So,
but I mean, you understand what I'm saying. So some things are very good, some things are not so good. This had a good atmosphere. It started out good. You're right. It is kind of a horror movie in a way, but unfortunately, the effects weren't as good. The transformation, unfortunately, was a little. What caused it was kind of silly. And the Hulk really wasn't needed. So
I'll
that part wasn't good, but
I'll agree with you. The second Hulk was kind of stupid, spinning on the wheel and but the first one when he basically electrocuted himself with the wiring, that one I can buy,
it again, it depends on what story, it depends on what season.
Yeah,
And it was a very good try in many respects.
I'd probably concur with that. A lot of the, you're probably right. I mean, a lot of the time the execution isn't always great in terms of effects, but I think what makes this show work is 9 times out of 10, or at least 8 times out of 10 throughout its run, the heart of the story is pretty solid. It might not always be executed well, but the stuff that Bill Bixby's involved in.
Yeah, no, he was. He was very intelligent, even when he was in TV shows that he wasn't the star
Yeah.
or he didn't have a big part. He was pretty good.
So, and this was I like how you guys, gave kudos to the actress. What was her name? Carol Baxter.
Carol Baxter, yeah.
She was in another episode of Incredible Hulk, and she played a character by the name of Dr. Charlene McGowan, and I can't remember what episode it was, but yeah.
That rings a bell, actually. I think we might have covered that already.
Yeah.
Oh, well. So, all in all, not a bad outing. Maybe no scary for some, in the likes of Alex. Maybe psychological for others. And I'm just sorry Frank couldn't make it tonight. It would have been interesting to get his take on it. Maybe he'll add something in, or maybe he'll know. But it really is not a bad 44 minutes of TV if you take it all into account. Do I get a lettering, guys, or a number if you want? Or?
Sure, let's do letters. I'll give this a B. Not bad.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give it a B minus.
All right, there we go. I'm going to complete the trifecta of B's, and I'll get a B plus. As we've alluded to, it's not bad for a season 2 episode. Interesting stuff, and it may just be your cup of tea, folks. So by all means, if you've heard this on YouTube land and you think it might pique your interest, by all means, give it a listen. And with that, guys, unless there's anything else you want to bring up? Nope. Alex?
No.
Oh.
I'll triple oops on the notes. And with that, in the words of our buddy Frank,
don't Hulk out.
Brother. See you next time for another Incredible Hulk podcast. Good night, folks.